sow nothing, the jewel in the reap. Yeah. Good thing. This one I call breaking news. Remember say, newsy news. Designed by the system to keep your man fused. The previews, propaganda, fake news. Distort your views. Big man compromise their own values. Watch when we sing again. Breaking news, news breaking. All I believe is talking. Breaking news, news breaking. Oh, people just keep on suffering. Breaking news, news breaking. Mama, please stop crying. Breaking news, news breaking. Scratching my head, contemplating. I am very elated that they find Kelvin. Even though we don't get the full overstanding. And what about the rest of people them missing? Families still in a mourning. Psychological desensitizing. So when the real hit the fan it won't be alarming. Breaking news is distracting. Then why we keep forgetting about McAfee and the shit eating. Missing Pastor Lou beheading. All the gun smuggling. Chinese man them killing. Passport duplicating. All the people under them keep on thieving. We need a solution for the gang banging. No fret, breaking news investigating. Breaking news, news breaking. All I believe is talking. Breaking news, news breaking. Most of it heart-wrenching. Breaking news, news breaking. Mama, please stop crying. Breaking news, news breaking. Scratching my head, contemplating. For years, we watch you no abuse, you no power. Most of things say we suffer from amnesia. Oppression, they pump for them agenda. You could tell by them aggressive nature. Cocaine is slip through the border, but for your weed seed, you get charged for murder. Forget about the threat from Guatemala. Like that, done on news, no more neither. Election time, clipboard and paper. Then they fight to forget me Lee signature. Them say, CT, my life will be better. But a promise is nothing but a fool's comforter. No retreat, no surrender. Divided we fall, we stronger together. Add fire to the flame and blow lava. Pan all of them politics stop. Breaking news, news breaking. The whole of Belize is talking. Breaking news, news breaking. Oh, people keep on suffering. Breaking news, news breaking. Hey, mama, please stop crying. Breaking news, news breaking. Got in my head, contemplating. $8 million to build one Lee Street. Well, Rasta, you can't find nothing to eat. Greediness to the devil with no heartbeat. You have to wake up and stop sleep. Living in a Babylon, nothing sweet. Picture your window and you still can't see. Lifestyle of the rich and the famous elite. You know, so nothing, the jewel in the reap.
Greetings in the name of all things good and gracious. G. Michael Reid with you one more time. It is Thursday, and we are once again the podcast, which has been running for the past 3 and about 8 months. In April, we'll have 4 years of doing this consistently. We used to be on Wednesdays, we switched to Thursdays. We try to bring you on the facts as they present themselves. No sacred cow, no scapegoat, no agendas, no fair favor. The agendas are not personal, political, or otherwise. We are strictly into the truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God. All right, we are hoping to be joined sometime this evening by Jeremy Spooner, Speaker of the Devil, um, old Netanyahu himself. What's going on? What you eating, man?
And Donald Trump. See, my
Donald
boy,
Trump, Donald Trump. Yeah,
you see
yeah.
what I did? I got a
Cheers.
policeman going. Cheers.
With that,
Yeah. Cheers to you.
you can't come on. You
Yeah.
eat now. Where do you eat? With that.
Okay,
No,
I did
no.
with you now. I did with you.
Okay.
But I'm drinking coffee, black
All right.
coffee. I'm
I'm
on
drinking some.
antibiotics, so I can't drink any dairy products. Yeah.
How about homemade
So
berries wine? Can you drink that?
I made a bottle myself, and my father had run out of whiskey, and Father Deekman was over, so I raid I had made some wine out of blackberries from
Mhm.
Mrs. Lois Young's mother's garden, and I collected all the blackberries, and I made myself some wine, and I had it above the curtain rack, and they ran out of liquor, and my father brought it down, and Father Deekman and my father whopped it off. I never got to drink it.
And they enjoyed it though.
Oh yeah, yeah, it was good. One
Yeah.
bottle blew up. One bottle blew up, and the
Oh,
other one survived.
it fermented and exploded.
Yeah, uh-huh. I may
Not
have
not
had the
as
cork too tight on or something.
not as bad as that thing up there in Orange Walk though.
No, 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 no.
I see the guy Burgess came on and well he seemed remorseful and
Yeah, that must
accept
be a horrible feeling,
well when you
you
think
know.
about the boy having a child 3 years old, no? Um
Yep. And it was
man
his
any
bomb, and he took it to the guy to weld on the hooks.
yeah, now that the story really we get the full story about it, no?
Yep.
Apparently, yeah, because I thought at first it was the boy who had the bomb and was welding on his own. But
Yep.
this he obviously instructed the boy to weld the thing on there. Now the people have been talking as to who's to blame. Should the British be blamed for leaving such things behind? What do you
Well,
call it?
because I didn't know those things were around. I know that well, have they traced it back to the British? They are British bombs because Belize doesn't make them.
Correct.
Um, were they were I didn't even know that there was a firing range or a training area in Orange Walk where they were using these bombs and so on. I was not aware of that. I know that some of them train in the Mountain Pinage area,
Mhm.
but not. I didn't realize Orange Walk. I guess if I know the British are very disciplined and so on, and so I'm wondering if somebody screwed up in the British forces, that they didn't account for all the bombs that they brought out and all the ones that they got back. Somebody screwed up, no? Unless these are bombs that are dropped from planes, right? And the Belize never had planes in those days or helicopter or anything to drop these bombs, right? So I guess it would be the British, not true? Or are these bombs fired from tanks or cannons or what? Do you know? Are these?
I they're according to what the report stated is that there are actually target bombs to just they just they when they drop, you know where they drop. I think the British have only the British could do that. I mean, Guatemala not show no bombs over here yet. Um,
No.
so
Yeah.
um,
Well,
I, I think Burgess said that there are many of them out there.
yeah, I was
That
surprised about
alarmed
that.
me. So
That
if
is
they are,
alarming. Yeah. In fact,
yeah,
I saw a Facebook post about half an hour ago, and it was showing BDF recovering some of these bombs, and there's quite a lot of them out there. But then it said we posted from Glenn Tillitt's um, page, no? So I
Glenn,
hope it's not
that has to be a while ago.
Yeah.
Good evening. Welcome to the show, sir.
Good evening, Jose Kawe. Good, Mr. Kawe. How you doing?
Good evening,
His Honor,
gentlemen.
the Mayor of Belize. Yep. Past
Yeah.
Mayor.
So, and you would know about Lentilis Page. You guys were very good friends. Where, where are the story with the bombs? Why are so many of them out there? And are there many out there indeed?
But I just know what was on the news and a report that was given that it was somewhat recklessly left behind from trainings that were being conducted many, many years ago, and that they are not the expansive type bombs. And they are not that they were not intended to be used militarily in any warfare. It seemed they were more for exercise purposes.
Yeah, that's what they're saying, and that they would just gonna leave thing in there where they explode, so they would know where it landed, if
Yeah,
indeed the range was correct or whatnot. But this apparently, this I never know only small explosion. There are people who reported hearing some loud, a loud explosion, and the roof of some of the houses was supposed to be shaking. So unless they're exaggerating, no, apparently it was well, it killed the fellow, so it must have
but
been.
the bang will be big, and it will be very. I suppose it will open the earth. But from what I get up from it, it will not be expansive. In other words, it never tend to go too far out. But when it hit the
Yeah, it
hit
never blew up the house or anything like that. It didn't
no,
blow up his workshop, but it blew
It
him
blew
up.
up him.
Yeah, and shattered windows. Yeah, horrific. Yeah, horrific.
Yeah,
I
but
was
Joe,
going back.
where does the blame lie, Joe?
Why? I know Burgos fairly well. I mean, he was one time a minister of government during my time, and I took it for granted that he was in fact a responsible person. But evidently, he himself apparently didn't have any idea, and I wouldn't want to be casting any aspersions at him, but I would say that it was somewhat a little bit on the negligent side because to come across something that looks like a bomb, that would have been sufficient to call in the experts.
Yeah, in particular, a man in his position, that
That's
was
what
in
I,
that position.
yeah,
Yeah,
because it's not something you'll find whether the shell. You know, you'll find where the shell of a bullet. Alright, you know the bullet has been expended.
I'll be
Doesn't
very honest. Me myself, and this is not because we see what happened. I would have never, if I came across a bomb like that, I wouldn't touch it at all because I would be scared. That's just me. But it's not because of this incident. I'm saying that I would worry about something like that, and I would probably call up some people I know in the military and mention it to them and so on. I believe Mr. Burgess was given these bombs, right, as payment for things or whatever.
yeah, that's what he said. They
Yeah,
owed him a debt, and then they gave him two and gave him one afterwards.
yeah.
But
yeah, but
I believe that any sane thinking person would respond
that's
like
right.
you would.
That's why I was thinking it's not
We
just
care.
you.
I would
Boss.
hope so. Yeah,
No, I think any reasonable person should
yeah,
be doing exactly what you said.
yeah. I'm frightened of butane gas cylinders. I got one outside my house, and those scare me sometimes.
Well, they have exploded, you know.
Yes, they have.
There's been. I don't think anybody should have them inside the house, but some people
No,
do.
no,
I
inside the
mean,
house.
the thing, you ever you're familiar with Darwin Award? The
Darwin Award. Yes, okay.
Yeah. So I mean, for a person to put that butane and some put them in close to the stove,
Yeah,
craziness, man.
yeah,
When
yeah,
something like that happens, you have to wonder. I mean, what were you thinking?
yeah,
What this the one of them with the welding something onto it.
yeah, man. What
What were
heat?
you thinking? You know.
Yeah,
So and unfortunately, it'd have been nice if it had happened with nobody hurt, and then we get the warning before somebody get hurt. But in this case, we got the warning with somebody being hurt, somebody actually being killed, and the father of a very young child who now has to grow up without a father.
could
Um,
you imagine the people, whoever found that bomb, picked it up, put it in a truck, then went and sold it, and now Mr. Burgers went and took it to the welder. Can you imagine what must be going through their mind? That wow, how lucky they were that this didn't
Yeah.
happen to them while they were transporting the bomb.
Or at least, or a good thing they didn't put no heat to it, no? Like on the welder did.
Yeah.
So
I respect those guys who what would you call them when they take the charge out of the bombs and
detonate, detonate.
yeah
I'm,
the mine whatever I tip my hat to them. That's not a job that I could do, is work on a bomb, and you don't know when it's going to go off or not like that, and you have to open it up and take out the bomb squad, I guess you call them, I guess. That's quite a job. Those are brave men. And on these pictures I saw this afternoon, there's quite a few BDF guys, and they're rolling the bombs, and I tip my hat to them. But apparently they said that they were with the experts, our bomb guys. Remember the guy in front of KHMH who Dean, when he removed the charge from that bomb that was found at during Carnival? Remember? And he got a lot of stick because he was in short pants when he did it. But he was a brave man that went there and took the charge out of that bomb. Do you remember that incident?
vaguely. I don't remember the full particulars of it, but I
It was a
remember,
few
yes, there
years
was
ago.
something in a carnival time. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Somebody
But
left a bomb in the parking lot in
and speaking
KHMA.
speaking of that, I see they had a bomb scare today. I was watching it on the news. Somebody was supposed to go to court.
Yeah, the court, yes.
One of the high profile criminals, no?
Sadly, those are usually they're most likely false, but you just can't take the chance.
No, you can't. I mean, you never. What you gonna do if they don't take it seriously and it is real?
Yeah.
Too many people would be hurt, and by that's something where any group could recover from. No, so and looking at that, I kept thinking in particular this one bomb, and not even a big bomb exploding. I'm thinking about those 200-pound bombs that explodes every day, many times a day, on those poor children over there in Gaza. Now, it seems, Jeremy, that your boy has been working on a deal. Is it
Yeah.
going to succeed? Are we going to finally see some ceasefire over there?
I'm not gonna count the blessings yet, because that area there is very unstable. I mean, even today, while this peace thing is going on, Israel bombed and killed a couple Palestinians. They bombed. I think it was I don't know if it was the Gaza or the West Bank. But even today, as this negotiation is going on, Israel sent bombs over. And I thought that
Crazy.
was bad. I thought that was bad faith. Yeah.
Well, it has nothing to do with this area being unstable. It has to do with them destabilizing the area. Um,
But what
uh,
I read about it is that they have both parties have agreed on the phase one.
Yeah,
And
they're
part
at
of
phase one right now.
but
Yeah.
the
part of
phase
this,
one is cessation
that's right.
of
All
hostilities
hostility.
and bombing. So that
Right.
means Israel is already violating that.
That's what
And
I'm saying. As a matter of fact, many of the European leaders and others have been showering Trump with praise, which I believe is not ironical, but anyhow.
I understand they want to get him on the Peace Prize, the Nobel Peace Prize. No, they say
Well,
he is demanding it.
one
He
of them, one of
he's
them,
not
Jeremy.
the man, but he mentioned it. Did he drop the Lee hint? You know what I mean?
he
It
he
basically
wanted it badly. He
he
was saying
want
that
bad.
that he should have been nominated.
You know why he wanted so badly, right? Because
Because
Obama got it.
Well,
yeah,
it's part of his. What's that list you call? The list that people have what they want to accomplish in life.
Bucket
Right?
list.
He's done the president. Now he wants that Nobel Peace Prize. The
Boy,
art of the deal. The art of the deal.
because I don't think anybody nominated. You have to be nominated because I
Yeah, you
think
have to be nominated. Yeah.
the one we
Yeah.
left is only the Peace Prize, and that will be Saturday, I think, or it's Friday.
listen,
But the others have been given out already.
But if
Trump
he
has
pulls
broken.
it off and it's a good ceasefire and everything ceases and the hostages are returned on either side, then it'll be quite an accomplishment. You
But
know.
I
I
can't.
don't think so. I don't. After 2 years, I don't see no accomplishment in that, Jeremy. And if you look at the terms of this, what they're saying here, to me, they're just colonialism all over again. You have Trump now. He and Tony Blair are going to oversee the transition from if and they're not even given a time limit. They are going to be then in charge of the Palestine, the West Bank and Gaza for the foreseeable future, I don't see any real accomplishment there. And given in particular, since Israel is still continuing hostilities,
Yeah.
I have a problem with that.
Well,
I don't. Why
why?
can't they? Why don't they, Joe, instead of putting Trump and Tony Blair, get somebody maybe from Switzerland, one of the other European countries, even, or Spain, um, the West Indies. We got Mia Motley right there. Would be a good person to hit something like that.
This is
I agree,
Trump's
but
baby, boy. He ain't gonna share the limelight with nobody. This is his.
I think the praise being showered up on him coming from some of those same European leaders, I think it smacks of hypocrisy. You're going to tell me that here was a country, the United States, putting in billions of weapons
Hmm.
to Israel to bomb Palestine. And then now you want to talk about giving a Nobel Peace Prize to the same person who was financing that war. If
Because
you
he
come,
decided to stop it.
if you come unprovoked, gone into this country, I'm using that as an example, and you are the one who invaded, carry out genocidal killings, and now fine when they decided not to stop. And I want to show a praise on you.
Yeah, yeah. I find it funny.
I
I
can't.
hilarious actually. I
You
can,
think
I
about it.
can't I can't see how they would even got a face of brass to suggest something like that. But you know what? We've come to expect that kind of thing. Yeah. I can't see it. I am hoping that it stops, but it doesn't only stop and go back to life as usual, which means apartheid, a continued state of apartheid. Because Jeremy, this did not start on October 7th, right?
No, no, this has been going
This
on
is
for quite a while.
77 years of apartheid. And in fact, October 7th wasn't uh, um, it wasn't the catharsis as such. It was a consequence of what happened over all this time. And I tell you what, since then, infinitely more people have become aware of it. I myself wasn't paying any attention to that before that incident there. It was like that was going on over there, best kept secret, if you will. Now the world is seeing it and is streaming real time, live, right to your living rooms, and it is frightening, man. That it could even be happening.
I don't know. I don't know the details of the ceasefire, but who's gonna pay for all the destruction? Who's gonna fund the rebuilding of Gaza?
There's more than that too. You see that bomb when they find an orange mark. Do you know
Uh,
how many unexploded bombs are there? I could imagine. You know how many people are buried under the
yeah,
rubble?
how many more dead people are underneath these
Man, you're
buildings?
gonna
Too,
be
yeah.
finding skeletons for decades.
Mm.
Then,
But
what are they gonna do with the? Because there's been a lot of rape going on. Imagine a young, beautiful virgins that have been the Israelis come in, and you know how war is. You can't police that all the way. I'm really, boy, flabbergasted. I don't know what word you could say, but that one serious situation that will not go away anytime soon.
And
well,
also, you have to
I don't think
remember a lot of trauma has been put on the Palestinian people and the
Oh man,
butchery that's gone on. How are you going to forgive that? That's not something easy to
well,
forgive
that
and
that's
forget.
that.
that's the point right there. You cannot have reparations for something like that as you did, because you were talking of thousands of people who lost their lives. You can maybe find reparation for like buildings, physical assets that have been destroyed. And I must give credit. I like how Mayor Matley, sorry, Minister Matley, the Barbados Prime Minister, gave his speech at the United Nations.
You know,
And he gave the analogy, excellent. And it was about a child. And that's how he ended his speech, because he started it with the issue of truth and trust. And he ended it with a child that he saw, a 6, 7 years old Palestinian child, carrying his little sister on her back. Her eyes was bulged, her limbs, you can see how emaciated she was becoming. But she was moving forward with the sister on her back. And you could see there was hope in her that there will be a future for she and her little sister. And he called upon the United Nations. He said, if that child could have had the hope to do what she's doing, he said, what about us?
Hmm.
That to me was touching. So to me, there can never be any reparation to
They,
suggest that what you did to those people there could
they've
ever be.
gone too far. They've gone too far. Let's welcome a good friend, Dr. Gregory Morrison. How are you, sir?
Good evening. Good evening. I
All
thought it
right.
was. I thought it was Stephen Duncan. He looked.
He
He
look,
looked
he
like.
look like Duncan, right? The
Yeah,
only
yeah.
Duncan
He
no
looked
got
like Hagler the boxer. You know.
No,
yeah,
but Mr. Chairman, you have appropriately designated the man with a doctorate.
yeah,
I don't know. Now I'm starting to feel like Shine.
uh,
Huh?
he is a doctor, you know.
I know you.
Yeah. So, Greg, what are your views? What do you think about this, the pending ceasefire, the announced ceasefire? Everybody's hoping at least the hostilities will stop. Now, you just mute yourself, though. See, your mute is on. Yeah, go
Okay,
ahead.
I got it.
No, you're muted again. Something wrong with your computer.
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
Um,
All
I
right.
was gonna say, everybody is happy that we have come to this point. I don't know why it's cycling and muting. I'm very happy that we have come to this where we are.
You're messing with us, right? you,
Yes,
you're
it's
messing.
going.
You go in out there now. You're back again. But what
Yeah,
happened? Something happened there.
yeah,
With the
and I'm
touch.
not touching anything. I'm looking to see if sometimes you have something resting on your keyboard, and it kind of does.
Okay.
But I think it's been on for 10 seconds now, so I think we're
Yeah, they get better. They get better. Like AI, man, you think it and it just they go.
It's probably Mossad linking into your
That too.
computer.
Boy, it get me paranoid. I had to I'll give you a joke because I got one of the smoke detectors, right? And it gone off by
oh,
mistake. And it's that one loud shrieking voice. I said, boy, one night did it do something to me conscious, yeah, right? I could still think and do all right, everything. Because it's amazing, man. It's frightening when they could do
Of
and what they
course.
would do.
well,
So,
you heard about what they did just before the strike in Gaza. They sent off some some old beepers and stuff, an old phone style phone that they had encouraged the Palestinian leadership to get, and those phones had detonating bombs in them.
right, right, right.
So
Crazy.
Wow.
Well, I saw something on the internet. I couldn't confirm it because they supposedly sent back a body of one of the
Oh yes,
Palestinian
yeah,
heroes,
yeah.
but it was booby
A
trapped.
bomb. Yeah,
And while
really,
while
yeah.
we're burying it, it went off and killed so many people.
oh, but
This is to a yeah,
wow,
it's to a low level,
I don't
right?
know if that is true. I don't know if they really do that. That
Boy,
is
that sounds like the things that they accuse Hamas of doing.
that would be so sacrilege. That would be so. Oh,
Man,
yeah, yeah.
but then when you think of the reports that you get, and doctors are confirming this, that there are
Mhm.
many children going in with headshots.
Oh yes,
They're
yes. And
shooting,
knees. They
knees in particular, and testicles.
yeah, they were
Testicles.
maiming. Part of
The
it was
what?
to
Man,
maim.
Oh,
Part
shoot
of it
them in the
was to maim
testicles.
the
Wow.
population. A lot of them they were shot in the knees or places like that. They weren't killed, but there were thousands of young people that were shot in the knees, and that was intentionally done
yeah,
so that they can never be soldiers. They can never be the
correct.
kind of, I guess.
Revolutionaries,
So,
yeah.
so now I guess they'll just sit and be Trojans and be led in there somehow, because the funny thing about this type of violence, people don't forget it.
Oh man, it's gonna breed some crazy stuff
People
because
don't forget it.
a man in a wheelchair could roll in with a bomb.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
and a man in that position, having lost all his life and agility and mobility,
Yeah.
he not got nothing else to lose. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
the number of children that are running around maimed, Greg.
Yes. Yes.
My God, no arms, no legs.
Yeah. Yeah.
How can they have a normal life?
Yeah.
This is inhumane,
Yeah. Yeah.
cruel. I don't know. You know, when I find it, I think that the majority of the American people don't like what is happening. Don't like that their money is being sent to fund this war. But
You
what
know,
can you do?
under both administration, I think the news media in America was sanctioned, and they didn't um, give us the true happening of what was going on the ground there. I mean, first thing, Israeli did everything to to kill and prohibit the press from being part of the contingency of observing what was going on. I think probably like 300 reporters were killed in this in what was
Yeah,
happened.
and
And
targeted,
yeah,
targeted.
yeah, it seemed to
Uh,
have been intentionally targeted.
you know, since this has, like G Mike said before, October the 7th, he really didn't pay much attention of
Mhm.
the Middle East, and I didn't either. I was aware, but I didn't watch it. But I watch since that incident. I've been watching every day, and I watch all the American media, and they
Mhm.
never show you Gaza. You to see
Yeah.
Gaza, you
Mhm.
have to look at
Al
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 Jazeera,
Jazeera.
Jazeera.
right?
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know, but
yeah.
they
That's why I
never.
said it.
I'm wondering if the American people even know of the devastation
Yeah,
in Gaza.
yeah.
Boy,
That's why I
I
said
think because of Facebook and social media, but now you know that the Israelis are going after all like TikTok. They banned TikTok. So then they want to get X. You saw the press conference with Netanyahu that was telling the people what they needed to do to secure better coverage for their side of the story.
hmm
But
hmm
there is a side to this issue that I think will be good to look at. And I want to describe it as a cost benefit analysis of the war.
hmm
Here was, for some time, yes, prior to Hamas going on that offensive into Israel, killed some Israelis and took some hostages, amounting to some 1,200 and that.
hmm
And then here was a counter-offensive by Israel.
hmm
And in a counter-offensive, he gone disproportionately,
Yeah.
and he killed over 20,000 Palestinians.
More than no, over 60 something thousand.
Well, all right, fine. You see, I was holding on to the
65.
28,000.
Yeah.
No, I
Yeah,
didn't know it had reached 68,000. But
yeah, yeah,
that's 68,000.
yeah.
Many of them, of course, the majority are civilians.
Oh
hmm
yeah, women and children.
Yeah.
No, as itself, if this so-called peace, which is in phases, they go to phase it in. And there
hmm
was a first phase which they have agreed to. It's not that they have agreed to all the phases yet, from what I
hmm
understand. But both Hamas group on the other side and the Palestinians have both now agreed to the first phase, which is to be the ceasefire and the beginning of a withdrawal up to a point. I asked the question, what is it that Israel benefited from? Did it make his borders any more secure? This
hmm
is what I understand when he did the counter-offensive to kill
hmm
so many. His intention, that is Netanyahu, was to destroy Palestine, to
Oh
try
yeah,
to destroy
E-
Gaza.
ethnic cleansing, ethnic
And
cleansing.
then he was going to use it as the buffer so that they cannot come at Israel again. But if you're going to have no peace, and with the talk of what is to be included, beginning with phase one, what is it that either side will benefit from? It looks to me, and I'm going to give you my quick opinion, listening to the European leaders' opinions, reading them today, the only good may come out of it is that there may be now a move towards a two-state solution.
Yeah, yeah.
That is what they are talking of now. So to me, it is true that in the end, it looks like Israel, Palestine may benefit if there is a two-state solution. Although some that advocate, I know
But
my
but
friend like
how
Asad,
will they I don't know if they will benefit in by that. I've long felt that there should be no two-state solution. There's already one state. Palestine is a state.
But
In 19
but you can't remove the Israelis from the
No, no, no.
region. No?
I wouldn't say remove them, but there ought to be a province in the state of Palestine, not a state in their own right, because they've been there just developing weapons their whole existence. And in fact, in 1945, when the UN Charter came into effect, borders were defined, and on our side of the world, there was the Monroe Doctrine that said, where there can be no more colonization, that's over with, and they supposedly had their own set of guidelines over there also. So the state established in 1948 with NAFTA actually, which they told a big lie that it was a country with no people for people with no country, when in fact there were millions of people all over Palestine that were displaced. And if the truth is really told, that one travesty, that what happened there is illegal in every sense, immoral in every sense.
Mr. Chairman, can you enlighten me? And when you say a two-state solution, I are taking the two-state solution to mean that Israel will remain Israel. Palestine will then become a state to be recognized, and that they will live in peace. But you are saying it's not a two-state solution. So what is the alternative? One state?
One state, Palestine and Israel has become a province of that state.
But that's too far-fetched. That will never happen.
You can say that. In fact,
but I'm saying, all right, good. We cannot see it happen 1,000 years from now. I am not sure. But when I say never happen, I mean within a reasonable time.
Well, not certainly not with the United States.
Why would you believe that Israel, if they come as one state, it means that they will vote over who will be their representative, who will be their prime minister, etc.
Yeah.
One state. Yes. One state. And what the state will be named?
Well, it's certainly Palestine.
All right. And you think Israel will prepare to go for that?
Well, they would have to, because the world is demand with the we can't. Well, it's not going to happen with the. I hear you, Joe. You go in that, but you know what I think the biggest problem was? Allowing them to name that place Israel. Israel was the name of a man, not the name of a place. And even to suggest that there's some chosen people of God. God created man, male and female. And I sincerely believe that. I see Jeremy falling asleep on that one, because he doesn't believe that. But I believe that there was no chosen people as such. We're all children of God, man. Why would God do that?
I don't think he did that. That's not true. I don't think he did chosen.
But that is the premise.
I gone and I did my research on that part itself. And this thing about chosen people, in fact, maybe that's the way I made it understand it. I didn't know that. I thought it was a chosen people in the sense that he was giving them supremacy. It was not that. The chosen by Christ was a more spiritual thing, because he believed that they were best suited to spread his word.
It wouldn't have been by Christ, then. They're way before Christ.
Yeah, but he did through his son, whatever he did. The other point I want to...
No, his son came way after it, Joe. You have to understand the history of it, really. If you did that research...
I read it. I did the research.
All right, so then you'd know that Jesus came...
I thought that the chosen people was chosen to... And the other people would be subordinated. That was not true. The chosen...
That's what they're telling us, though.
No, I go by the history.
Yes, well, I'm telling you what the Jews are saying.
No. Look, I just explained it. When Jesus chose the 12 apostles, he chose them to carry out a mission, which was to spread the word of God. When they chose the Jews as such, it was because he felt them best suited to do the mission of proselytizing, going and converting people to his.
But they weren't Christians. Christians only started with Jesus Christ.
Thank you. Which was long after that.
Long after the
Judaism.
All right, then enlighten me.
I guess you guys know where I stand on this, right?
When you say chosen,
no, I don't.
Well, tell me what you mean by chosen there. That's what I want to get from you. I give my opinion based on what I read. What you mean by chosen?
That
They're
God
God's
chose them to be His
people.
favorite people.
Yep,
Yes.
and they were promised Israel is the promised land.
No, but when you say chose, it took them as his chosen people.
But Joe, that you can't. I not argue that because I know me.
But you
That
have to
have
come
nothing
very
to do with me.
important point.
I don't.
I
I
think it's
decide
very
that.
important
Yeah,
because
yeah, but
I
it's
have listened
important.
to Pastor Wade as one of them who went out to make it believe that they were so chosen that they could do no wrong. That is not true.
But
He
that's it.
said
That's
that.
what's going on right now.
He said that because he said publicly that he could not have condemned Israel for what they were doing
Right.
because they are God's chosen people.
Mm-hmm.
I am saying to him that what I read, and I can interpret English. I, I'm not a, I know scholar. I'm no scholar when it comes to when it comes to the Bible. I'm not that, but I'm saying to you, you know who brought that to my notice? Surprisingly, I said to our Jehovah Witness, I said I believe God made a mistake. Jokingly, I said because how could He have chosen these people and look what they are doing to the Palestinians? He said, Mr. Coit, I will send you something. He gave me the section because I didn't study the Bible very
Oh yeah,
much.
they know their
And
Bible.
I got, when I read it, it made sense. So I wrote him back and I told him what I understood by it. He said that is exactly what it is. And I'm saying it because I never know that when I listen to some people about this chosen, that he was to make them like the white supremacists then, what we are called the white supremacists
I
today.
imagine everybody got their own concept. Gregory, where do you stand on this? You were about to tell us.
um, I don't believe in the chosen people concept. I believe in a creator, and I like you do too. I believe that he created all of us, and that he created man, and that we're equal. The idea of chosen, I think, is just something propagated by that particular religious sect of Jewish people, and so I don't hold that supremacy for them, and I don't think they are. And even so, from all I've read and understand of the Jewish people, the people that today claim themselves to be Jewish are not really the Jewish people that were original to that region and to that space. It was a whole different set of people, and
Mm-hmm.
that these new Jewish people are actually German and other
Mm-hmm.
European extraction of people that represents the modern Jewish people. And we see that in Jewish, we see that in Egyptian, we see that throughout the region what was the original people have changed. In the first place, the Jewish people and the Palestinian people are like first cousins, you know. So really, this is it's a family war that's going on for thousands of years, and I don't
But,
think it
but but
will.
but you look at them. Do they look like cousins?
But
Do
they
they?
are, they
No,
are.
no, no, no. But do they look like cousins to you? Because
Well,
when you
well, no, but I told you that I told you
correct,
that
correct.
the
So that's what
Jewish
I'm saying.
people
Yeah,
have
I
stayed.
agree with you. I'm agreeing with you. But
Yeah,
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 yeah.
not the European ones, but the ones that live in Palestine. They look like
Yes,
Palestinians.
yes,
Yeah.
But,
yes, yes,
but
yes.
gentlemen, can I come back in to try to reason something? When he said his chosen people, which I don't have a problem with the word chosen, except that it was not to be eternal. It's not a case that they remain his chosen people today. That's not what it was intended. It was intended for a particular purpose at the time in which they lived. That's what he meant. Go ye out and go ye out, proselytize, carry my commandments, teach people. Just like what Jesus did with the apostles. But that time has gone. So they are no longer any chosen people.
Well, as I said, I believe that whole thing is created by them
of
as
course, of
God's
course.
word has chosen. I don't think
But
I
this
think
is
of the greatness of God and his supremacy, and I can't see how he would mingle himself to choose one group of people over all the other people in the world. So
I I
that's
believe I believe God's chosen people are those who choose God, who decide I want to be with God as opposed to being with evil.
probably so.
Sam Dredge said that many of the Jews that are there now came from Spooner's area, original country. And Spooner might be one. Wait. Spooner, are you a Jew?
No, I'm not a Jew. No,
All right. You're
I
not
got
a.
no Jewish blood.
You're not anti-Semitic, though, right?
No, I'm not
No.
anti-Semitic, but
Yeah.
I'm
Because,
anti what they're doing, what the Israelis are doing in Palestine right now. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
that doesn't make me anti-Semitic.
Correct.
No.
You know.
No.
I'm anti-Zionist. I'll tell you that because I don't think it's fair.
Okay, well,
Any
Zionists are
group,
like fascists. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
you
the
know.
Jewish version of fascism.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that the problem was the big problem was to allow them to name the country that, even if they were going to create that state within the state, which was illegal, because Palestine was already an existing state. They should not have just gone in there and take this and now spreading out all over just because they're Israel. And did you see the interview with Tucker Carlson and Ted Cruz? That was
Oh
revealing.
yeah, 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 yeah.
That
But I, I just want to say one thing. Just imagine if that had at one point Belize was considered after the Second World War as one of the areas that the Jewish people could have come to resettle. It was offered to them, I
yeah.
believe, and imagine if that had actually happened, what would be our region in turmoil?
It'd be upside down.
Yeah.
I think that at some point we'll have to, as a world, look at this seriously and decide. I mean, is this really right or is it wrong? And if it's right, all right. But for me to think it's right, I would like to see God, because God is great and God is able to do that. God is able to send us a sign. Maybe we have to put out a fleece. Remember when Gideon put out the fleece and tell God, if that wet and everything else dry,
I think
uh,
he's asleep, creating new worlds somewhere. He's not coming back.
you don't think so?
No, he's not. They beat his
Well,
ass so
eh,
bad last time.
looking at the way we act, I don't know if I would come back if that were me.
Prior to Palestine, there were two kingdoms of Israel. There was United Kingdom of Israel from 1020 to 930 BC, and it was ruled by Saul, David, and Solomon. And then after Solomon's death, the kingdom divided into two: Kingdom of Judah and Kingdom of Israel, which was from 930 to 586 and 930 to
the AI,
722.
to tell you this, or one
Yeah, it's
Jewish
telling me that, but
website?
I've also read that. I was just trying to, because I'm getting older and I'm losing my recollection. Sometimes I have to wonder if these are just things running in my head. I have to get something physical
Did you make it up, right?
confirmed. But I read,
It
and so I
sounds like
just asked
something that I make up.
AI. I asked AI, were there kingdoms of Israel, and this is what he told me. And I've read that a lot, not from AI, but I've read that a
What
lot.
was the name of it? Israel.
It was called the United Kingdom of Israel. And then you had the Kingdom of Judah.
But they were in the same region.
They were in the same region. That
they were
was
in the same
correct. Yeah.
region. Yes.
So what happened to the
And
so-called
then after
kingdom of
that was the
Israel?
Great Exodus. After that was, I guess, was the Great Exodus,
Yeah,
because
from Egypt.
they got taken over by all the other groups in the area.
Yes.
The Syrians, the Persians, the
That's what the
Egyptians.
period of, yeah. Do you all hear anybody right now when I say that, well, any distinguished countries or organization in the world today ever speaking about the Jews as the chosen people? You hear anybody talking about it? You hear anybody justifying what it, except like Pastor Wade and so, justifying what Israel is doing because they are God? That is not any longer.
Well, that's what
The
Ted Cruz was
churches
doing.
are. The churches are.
Yeah, most
That's the
churches.
reason.
No.
That's the reason. The United States
Which
supports
church?
them for different reasons politically, and it's because they're emissary in the Middle East. But
Which church is doing that?
all the
I know the Roman Catholic Church
all
is
the,
not.
all the church
Oh yes, man.
leadership-
Oh
all
man.
the church leadership-
Yes, all the Christians,
I know Pat Roberts is not.
I'm a Roman Catholic, and I was
all
never
those
taught
people-
that.
No, all those
Sorry?
churches tells our government that we need to support the Jewish state because they are God chosen people.
Now,
Yeah.
I
which
don't
one?
know that that's the reason. I'm
But-
telling you that's what they do, Mr.
But Mr. Gregory, you're the generalized. Tell me which
No, I'm not
one.
generalizing.
No,
I'm
tell me
telling
who
you, I don't know the church. I'm talking about the
Come on,
pastors.
you haven't said which one who did do it. I know I didn't do it.
Pat Robertson was one.
All right, if he did it, he was isolated. The point I wanted to make simple was that We don't hear anybody today of any distinction in the world
Joe,
justifying what Israel is doing because
Joe.
man that will go against Christian belief. How can
No,
you
no,
justify
Joe,
what
No,
no,
Israel is
no,
no,
doing?
no,
no,
Joe. You're wrong.
no,
You're wrong. You're
no,
wrong, Joe.
no,
You're
no,
wrong.
no, no.
Well, what is wrong?
You're
That,
wrong.
You're
You're wrong.
saying you
people
didn't
are
hear the church,
that
not
people are
because you
That
didn't
is
hear
why
it.
they are able to do what they're doing.
that is not true, gentlemen. That,
Yes, it
look now,
is. It is.
no,
But
no. You know what give Israel its claim to sovereignty? The same thing where we used to go to the International Court of Justice, the United Nations. It was the United Nations in 1948 that sanctioned that. That is how they defend their sovereignty over that what they have. The same
no,
thing they're
no,
doing.
no, 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 no.
No,
Have you
that's a
listened
fact.
to Netanyahu speak?
Well, which one I speech? I
But
listen to many of them.
all right. Have you not heard him refer to them as God's chosen people?
When I expect him to do it.
All right, and
Yeah, but
most of the churches do, Joe. You need to do some
Pull,
research
pull
on
up,
that
pull up,
one.
pull up
I
your
am
AI
telling you
and
that
show
I
Mr. Joe.
spoke.
All right,
I don't know of
get a
any
Spooner.
pope. I don't know of any pope. What is
Spooner,
said that today?
What?
No, the Pope didn't say it.
AI.
The
Where
Pope
AI to
have not
tell you?
said that.
How many do the churches think that support Israel based on the fact that they are God's chosen people?
I'll have to ask him that.
Ask
Yeah.
them, man.
But I asked AI. What did I hold on? I asked AI, what does it mean the Jews are the chosen people? And it said the concept of the chosen people is a central tenet of Judaism, which holds
Right.
that the Jewish people have a special covenant with God. This idea is rooted in the Hebrew Bible, particularly in the book of Exodus and Deuteronomy, if I pronounce that correct.
Deuteronomy, yeah.
In essence, the concept means a special relationship they have with God. They're chosen for a purpose, which I think Joe was saying. This chosenness is not about superiority,
But to
but
spread
rather
his word.
about being selected for a specific role or responsibility, such as following God's laws, being a light to the nations, preserving tradition.
That's
Yes.
right. That's exactly what it was.
Now
And if you
find
go
out how
on,
many churches,
if you go on to talk, if you
Agree
go
that
on
they
to
are the
talk,
chosen people.
right,
uh,
right. That
I'll ask them if the Catholics believe. Okay.
No,
the
the Catholic
Catholics
does not
believe.
believe that. The Catholic does not believe that,
They do
Spooner.
not?
They do
Okay, I'll
not.
say what religions believe that the Israelis are the chosen people. Okay.
what I'm trying to bring out to you all, that if you what you read just now is exactly what happened. And let me go a little further. I got a little bit distracted. I was about to bring out a point. The
Sorry.
choosing that he did at the time was not for it to be everlasting. He chose Moses to do certain things. He chose Abraham to do certain things. He
But
chose
Joe,
Noah
Joe,
to do certain
you're
things.
speaking too
No, no.
dogmatic
The
there.
point that I'm making to you that he took that group of people.
But you're speaking dogmatically. You
Yeah.
don't
I,
know
I,
that.
I
No, no,
think
no,
I
no, no,
think
I'm not
You
saying
did
they're
theorize like
yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
no.
Who
What he
was
did,
there?
No,
Were you
no,
there?
Mr.
but
Joe,
gentlemen,
Mr.
Mr.
Joe.
Spoon, I just read something just
No,
now.
no,
Long
no.
enough
But he's
about what
correct.
he
But
did.
you're
He's
further
right.
breaking it down, saying that they are not going to back off from the fact that they were chosen. I don't believe they were chosen. But
I believe they were chosen, but for that specific purpose, just like what Mr. Spooner read just now.
no,
That's what it was for.
he said, yeah, but you breaking it and said they are no longer chosen. But when Jesus came, he says that Jews and Gentile were brothers and equal, right?
All right,
And
if
they
they were chosen, tell me what they were chosen to do.
No, I
I'll be
believe
okay
they were
about
chosen.
no.
According to your Bible, I
Not
believe
on
they
my
were
Bible,
chosen.
our Bible.
Well,
I read the same one where you read.
but I don't believe it the way you believe it, because I
But
don't
they're
believe they were
probably
chosen.
differently, that's all.
Yeah. I don't believe they were chosen. I don't buy into that concept.
what gets me with the Christians, the staunch defense of Israel, is that do you know that the Jews spit on Christians when they try to go to Israel like that? And it's supposed to be they're supposed to be blessed when they do that. I was reading about that and it shocked me because why would then the Christians? In fact, who killed Jesus? Joe,
The Jews.
the Jews. Yeah,
One
because
what I
and,
say,
and, and the
the Bible
Bible
has
says that.
Yeah, but when I
No,
say kill
I
them,
don't know if the Jews killed Jesus.
let me explain why I'm saying it, because I think maybe I answered it wrongly. It was they who thought that Jesus was not from God
Yes,
and that Jesus was blaspheming to claim
yes,
himself the Son of God.
yes,
And the Jews, you remember the Jews
yes,
in Rome under the emperor, which they
yes,
were crucifying Christians, they were
yes,
pagans.
yes.
Why is it you think they tolerated the Jews and they allowed them to be what they were? Why you think? You know why they did it? Because the Jews were paying them money.
Yeah.
The Jews were very wealthy.
Mm-hmm.
So when they made the move to go after him, they gave recognition to them because they were the Romans allowed them to do what they wanted because they were paying for it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So when I say he killed them, it was they who bring the complaint against Jesus
Mm-hmm.
to the judge.
Yeah.
That they brought the complaint is and the complaint that they brought he was
Well,
crucified.
we remember Pilate washed his hands.
Yes,
Pilate
but
said, I don't want no
But
part
that,
of
but that,
this.
but that was not real. That he washed his hand, but yet allowed his soldiers to arrest him
Well,
and
well
to
oh,
he
throw
hold
him
did
on
on.
the
it
cross.
because the people chose
Yes,
Barabbas.
No,
He,
yes, yes.
no.
I
Mr.
understand all
Chairman,
that.
you brought a very good point.
Yeah.
You
They
really
chose
know
both not
going
to.
along. You know what he did? When he washed his hand, Pontius Pilate,
Mm-hmm.
then he put it to the people. And there were Jews who gone for him. That's what I mean when he killed him. Because when he decided he had called make the people make them go for a referendum. He called a referendum right there. And
well, no,
the
this about,
majority of them there were Jews.
with the
And
talk
I
about
think
belief,
no, no, I'm
Joe.
saying here it was like a referendum he did. Barabbas, that's probably
Yeah,
Pilate.
we understand.
Yes,
We know that.
Pilate saying to them, he said, "Oh, which one do you prefer?
So, sum it up,
Barabbas
Joe.
or him?" They said, "Free
Yes,
Barabbas." And I
yes,
think out of him, they can
yes,
crucify him.
yes. And with the
But
deal with
you
belief,
remember
though,
Let me tell you,
you remember what happened the week before, why the crowd was upset with Jesus. It was because the week before, well, I guess a couple weeks before, because remember he had gone into the church and turned over the money
Temple,
changers
yeah.
tables.
Yeah.
And then the week before that was where he walked through the gates of the north gate and was on the donkey. But the reason the crowd went against him was because they remember that, and they were also coached by the leaders because they saw that he was teaching the people something different.
I see you guys are well read. And again, this is one matter of belief. We don't know none of this. And in fact, there are some people like Sam Dredd who suggesting Jesus never did exist. And the concept came from Egypt, some guy named Kemet.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
And they
here you
were
go, Kemet in Egypt.
yeah, yeah,
Now,
yeah.
and there are many religions that even I'm not sure that the Jews don't think that Jesus came, or if
Hmm.
he came, he walked as a man, and that in fact he's yet to come,
Yeah, yeah.
and
They're still waiting for him. They're
they
still
wait.
waiting for their
So
deliverance.
there were matter of belief and
Mhm.
what you believe. Because I hear the story and the story in the tell, I've read those stories also,
Yeah.
but there's so many holes in that story. It
Mr.
had to
Chairman,
stick with
sorry.
that as tenet, you know.
Let me suggest something. You go on and do a research. Many of the things that the Bible has been proven by anthropologists and have been proven by archaeology. Many of them were proven to be true.
They could prove what and why, you know, Joe. They
Yeah.
could prove what and why. In particular with AI nowadays, you could prove anything you want.
But what has
The
also
point about it,
been proven, Mister.
archaeology has proven a lot of things of the past to archaeology.
But
The
they
We've
have
been
never
told all of
they,
this. We've
they have
been
never
told
found that
this.
they have never found that Jesus tomb. They have never found any of those people that are mentioned in the Bible as a tomb that they existed
Okay.
and died. But what Sam Dredd was saying has some history because there have been the very Jesus story been told that was 4,000 years before Jesus.
And there
Yep.
were several of them, yeah.
The birth, and all that has been documented, and there were stories well ahead of the Christian adaptation of those version of what we call the Jesus story. So
Suppose Jesus was a con man. Well,
You see now, but here we go on now because
I think Jesus might have existed in some time, or
in
some
some way,
spiritual
some form or
leader,
fashion, yeah.
some spiritual leader.
But see, it is referred to as the greatest story ever told. Am I correct?
Yes.
Now,
story.
when I may grew up in a Belize, when somebody tell you they tell story, it means that they lie. And that if that was the greatest story ever, it might very well be the
Then
greatest lie
it
ever
It
was
told.
might be. It could
I'm
be.
just saying,
And I believe it to be.
I'm sorry to make you red, Joe, but I mean that is it. I know you grew up in the church and
But
you
he
stand.
spearheaded the biggest religious group in the world.
He did. He
Well, it
did.
did start a revolution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
So
asked me about what religion believe that the Jews are the chosen people.
Mhm.
Judaism, of course,
right,
Christianity,
Yeah.
Christianity.
Islam. It
The
says, however,
Islam, that's not true. Islam
It,
believes he's
it
a
says
prophet.
some Islamic scholars and traditions acknowledge the Jews as chosen by God, although this is not a central tenet of Islam. That's what
correct.
it says.
It's not a central tenet of of Islam for
Uh,
sure. Um,
And then it
yeah.
says, however, interpretations and perspectives on this concept vary widely among these faiths. Some view it as a sacred responsibility, a solemn duty to uphold their faith and traditions, covenantal relationships, a mutual agreement between God and the Jewish people, and then historical significance, a way to understand the Jewish people's history and identity.
Now,
That's
tell
what
me, Sonny
AI says.
Spooner, you got an AI. Where AI get the information from?
Well, it's like my son is working with an AI company, getting very well paid, and they ask him questions, and they throw him information. They
Uh,
collect data.
Yeah.
They're
uh-huh.
collecting data so that
Right.
when I ask questions like
So,
this,
so garbage in, garbage
these
out.
things come up. And that
Exactly. Exactly.
it's just,
Yeah.
it's well, if you find it incredulous, then you could do a fact check after that.
Or maybe
You
you
know,
could give your own information.
but it's been very reasonable. It's given me a
Oh,
lot of
oh,
information.
oh, but let's go back on that a bit. Yeah, they ask
Uh,
your son works with them and they ask him for information. He gets
okay,
that
okay,
information
well, he's doing one about videography.
and he
So what
puts
they
the
do, they
information
send him
in.
they send him a video, and they
Right.
ask him questions about this video inside of it, and he gives his input. But he's
And
not the only one. There's like
right,
hundreds of
right.
other
But that's
people, and they're
so
collecting
that
all this
is
data.
but so that is the information that you get that somebody
Yeah.
puts in. That
Mm-hmm.
that basic same kind of concept with the computer, the way it works.
And
Yeah.
then they
You
go
put
through
in
all the
information
data.
and you get it back out.
You
Yes.
have
So
one that for engineers. You got one for doctors. They pay you $3,000
just
an
spooner,
hour.
spooner, spooner, spooner. You see the murky the water.
Another
And I
murky the
hate when that
water.
happens because you're straight from the point. At the end of the day, that one basic, how does AI get this information that you are sharing with us or anybody gets from AI? Because
Just like
AI
how
is
you
not a
get
person.
AI. Before AI came along, you went on the internet and you Googled it,
Right, correct.
and you got your
But is
information.
AI infallible?
I
No.
guess it's a new
No.
I guess it's a new kind of search machine.
Correct.
It's
All
a,
right. So that's
well,
yeah.
look at it.
Spooner,
I
spooner.
went to the okay. No, hold on a second. I went to a doctor. I did blood tests. I got the results. I copied it, pasted it to AI, and he gave me everything the doctor tell me. He gave me the same analysis of my blood thing, and it recommended things and medicine I was supposed to take.
So does not mean then that you think AI is infallible.
Well, I'm sure that it can make mistakes, but right now everything that I have asked it
You know,
makes a
make no
lot of
mistake for
sense.
you. All right. So
Makes a
sometimes
lot
we believe what
because
we want to believe in.
I double check. I don't take that as gospel, but I've
Double
read a
check
lot of things
with
before
who though?
AI came, and
You
I've
Double
double check
check
with
with who?
AI.
and this
Double check with AI.
yeah,
You
and I
see what
check
I'm
with
saying? You
AI.
see what I'm taking? You see where this going? Let me see where yes. Yahushua. It sound like Trump now to try to pronounce style and all.
No, you
The
can't
seed,
pronounce that.
the seed and spirit of the first man created by God, who was Adam. Now here's another dogma: was a pure
Mhm.
spirit, and that spirit or seed remains with humanity through the ages. That seed and spirit is and was the first and last of his creation due to his purity in heart. It is that seed or spirit whom God has handed or passed down his inheritance and covenant to since time immemorial. Who was here has let him hear, and was there, etc., etc. But wait,
Well,
wait,
well,
wait.
I
Again,
believe in the
though.
evolution of man. I don't believe in the creation of man.
Well, but we'll start somewhere.
I believe I'm like with you, Gregory. I believe in evolution.
But I thought you said, Greg, that you believe there's a supreme creator.
You
Yes,
can
yes,
believe that,
yes,
yes.
yes,
So
yes.
then, what? So
That
then, would
created the universe,
and not, but not man.
not independently man.
I don't know who he is
Yeah,
or
What?
her.
What? We created the universe, but not man per se.
that's correct. That's correct. The seed
So
of
how did
man
man come
became
about? Are you really thought that we
evolution.
came from apes?
We came from something. We came through an evolutionary process, and
But
scientifically that has been
why did
proven.
evolution stop right here and now? Why
I
did
don't
it
think it
stop?
has stopped. I don't think
It's
it
not
has
stopped.
stopped.
Things are
I
still
Have we
don't think it has
evolving.
been?
stopped.
Well, well, how
You
is up?
think you think this is the final man that will be here 10,000 or 5,000 years
It
from now? If
is the
we
same man that was here 200 years ago. So
200
is
years,
it that slow an evolution?
evolution is a
Yeah,
slow
evolution takes
process.
time,
Yeah,
millions of years.
but wouldn't something have been changed, at least
But
some kind of
don't you
change?
see the evolution of man from what we were to what even from
Are you talking about
even man
physical
from a
being?
thousand.
Are you
I mean,
talking
our
about
person
physical?
is the same, but our mental state
Well, but see,
is
that's not what we're talking about here.
but that is part of the evolution.
What is what that
Your
you've grown?
mental state is part of your
Uh-huh.
evolution.
And that mental state has got us what, smarter?
Definitely smarter.
Smart to the point
Gentlemen,
that we are killing each other, to the
but
extent that we are
gentlemen,
killing each other. Is
whether you
that
believe in Adam and Eve or whether you believe in the Darwin's theory, both of them are revolution. Both. Because even if you believe in the Adam and Eve, if it was what some say it is, would not have been like what we are. Man
Exactly.
keeps evolving. Man is evolving.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you go for the Darwin's theory, then you have to say, well, who created the monkey or who created this, who created that. So even if you go for Darwin's theory, that he came from an ape, then man, remember, was a period when he was Homo erectus, because he was down. Then he
Mhm.
became Homo erectus. Then after he came Homo erectus, he became Homo sapiens. And that's a fact. That's proven. Now, whether that's
Yeah.
from Adam and Eve,
oh,
that's all over.
how is that a fact?
Because that's where we were, my brother.
The what? Because
Man,
what?
man today, Mr.
Uh-huh,
Chairman,
uh-huh.
is far smarter and no more than man knew 100 years
Duh,
ago. It's a fact.
duh.
It's a fact. You,
Listen, I don't
you
know.
are telling me that 100 years ago we had a computer?
Oh
They
man,
make it speak like this.
so the computer evolved. How about that? The computer evolved. I'm
Well,
saying to you, a
let me give
hundred
you
years.
an example. Let me give you an example.
No, hold on. Let me give you an example. 100 years ago, they were already taking. They're not going to take pictures like photos, but they were drawing, and the cavemen were drawing people against the walls of the caves. They have looked the same. So physically, we have not evolved for no ape. I don't believe that. I believe man was created in his present form. But the mental part of us now, the intellectual part of us, has definitely evolved and gotten. I don't
But,
even know if that's smarter. It seems that dumber to
but Mr.
me.
Chairman, let's go with your theory or your facts. Let's say that yes, we were created just as we look right now. Let's say we were that. Do you not accept that you have an IQ which is fixed, either 110 or 80 or 90? And then you can develop it as far as you could, but you can't go beyond the 110. Now, when it comes to your EQ, which is emotional quotient, you can increase that. Man has evolved in terms of getting more knowledge and getting smarter. We never got plane. Man
So
make plane.
that's how we evolve. Not in terms of physical
No,
being.
the evolution of man you could deal with the evolution of man in a physical sense.
But you can't mix the two. You got physical and
I'm
spiritual.
saying to you,
No,
I don't want to get into an argument which none of us will be able to prove.
Obviously.
I want to agree on something that we could accept, and then from there we could try to leave the rest. You know why?
But what are we gonna accept
You are
when
saying you are saying that we were what we look like right now physically.
I believe that, yes.
Everything with us is what we were.
I believe. And let me say, that's not a fact. I'm saying I believe that.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask one important question.
I am saying to you, if you believe that, then I'm saying to you that man began to expand in what he was inventing and creating. He was. And that's the evolution state. No, if you take the evolution of
But
man,
Joe, give Gregory a chance. What are your question, Greg?
The question I always get and I always wonder about, how old do we think man actually is? Because that would tell a lot of the story of where we stand in terms of
how long we are on this earth. They have
Yes,
proven that we go back to over 150,000 years.
Then that's where we seem to be, a couple 100,000 years at least for the
and that's because of what man invented the carbon to be able to detect how many to detect he has.
Yeah.
When Sam wants to know,
Sam was rolling a dice for frequency distribution, and he used the dice, and he could do it 100 times. He could have tell you the frequency distribution every number. Today, man can take that and do it millions of times.
But what are you saying? What are you saying?
And
because that is an intellectual that you're arguing two different points there, Joe.
No, the one I want to argue 1 point. One, if you choose to believe, we'll take you, Mr. Chairman, that man from the beginning biologically is the same as man now. I am saying then man evolved in terms of his knowledge and creation. Now, if you take Greg's theory, I think it's Greg or both, that man was evolving biologically.
Yes.
Is that what you believe, Greg?
Yes, I believe that.
No, in the biological evolution, he was also intellectually evolving.
That's correct. And there was reason for that evolution. We see it because of his adaptation to his environment, right?
Exactly. So, that's why I am white and not dark, because of all the environment that we lived in.
Yes.
I could never understand why Chinese got slanted eyes, or what was the evolutionary trait.
I think it has something to do with their vision in that particular atmosphere.
Okay, but gentlemen, the same thing when they discover out through the carbon, when man know. You know how they come? So everybody started from the same place. And Asia, everybody started from black men, black people. Yeah, and then they begin to move. And he showed you how they move. Some gone out to reach Australia, some gone into Asia, some gone Europe, some cross.
Yeah.
Hold on, man. Give me a
no, but you take long, man.
No, hold on, man.
You just go on and on.
Shut up right now, please.
What are you saying, man? What are you saying?
I want to explain to you what Funa was saying.
You want everybody believe your theory, man. We all have our own theories.
When man was moving, hold on, Mr. Chairman, please. The environment changed after that it changed.
So that's why it become Chinese.
That's what they have proven, man. Go and read about it.
Oh, man, please.
From different sides of the world, we all look different.
Let me ask one important
environmental adaptation.
May I ask a very important question?
That's it,
please.
Right,
may I ask a very important? Has there ever been a time we did not ingest, digest, and defecate? And you think, or did we evolve from something other than that at some point?
Well, it shows that all cells lose and breaks down and gives off something. All cells. So I believe in some form that was always a process of man in the evolutionary process.
So that we didn't evolve, that part that we're not involved. That has remained constant.
Yeah, because you have to renew yourself, and the only way to build it is to get rid of it.
All right, so if we can believe that, why we can't believe that we have been in this form from ever since? Why do we have to believe? And if
there's enough evidence to show the progression of the development of man, as we talk about how they were Homo erectus, and then they evolved to Homo sapien, and how the brain has grown. They even could show
That's right.
you the
Exactly.
Skull
different
changes,
growth
yeah.
of the
That's
brain
right.
that
That's
as
a bit.
man
You know,
become
you
more
know,
intelligent and start to develop more cognitive development, how his brain actually breaks into different
That's
sections
right.
of the evolutionary process.
there was a time when man believed the earth was flat, you know.
Yes,
So there
there
are a lot
was.
of things we believed and we were told that we were able to find out as far as man evolving. They have not found that missing link. There's no connection between man and ape. So
Of
and
course
there are
that
still
exists.
apes
That
out there.
exists.
They're
That's
still
not a missing link anymore. If that's not the missing link, I think they always talk about in science and biology. I think it is well proven that that evolutionary process has happened.
I don't think it has been. No. I
Well,
mean,
G Mike,
again, our belief.
Well,
well,
Mr.
G Mike,
Chairman, let me say this to you.
for right
You
now,
cannot,
for
you
in
cannot
this
believe it,
state,
but science has proven that. Whether it is
It's
not scientific, that's
science has
scientific.
proven a lot of things that don't make no sense. It also proved that the
Yeah, but
Jews
then
get it
you are
right
becoming too
for being
cynical.
chosen.
I believe
I
in the I
Advise us not
believe
to
in the
do that.
thesis of
And you have
evolution.
to
I don't
respect
agree with
science, man.
your one.
You
that's all
have to
right.
respect,
That's
you have to
all
The
right.
respect science.
creator
I have
that
no. I
created
cannot
how we look now.
listen to me. I can't prove it. Only God could come on and decide it. And I wish he'd have come at some point and clear this whole thing up. I want to ask him about the chosen people
But
part
Chairman,
too.
you don't
That
So
have
not
to be.
happen when a meteor crash into the earth. We're all dead, and there'll be another planet down the
Why
road
can't we
that
just
will have
why,
life again.
yeah, but
all
why
right, here
can't
we
we
go
just
again. You want to argue that too, no? I'm
why
not going to
can't
argue that because I
why
don't know.
can't we just
Yeah.
look around us and ask yourself about science, about engineering, chemical, civil, structural? Look how the world has changed.
But
There was a
nobody's
time.
arguing that the world has not changed.
You know, when we reached the point where we were going to put the large scrap on Pinhead, you know what year that was? When it became the Time Cover magazine. Now, man put the our father on a pinhead. You know what man can do now? Man
But
can put
what are you
several
saying,
Bibles on
Joe?
a pinhead.
Nobody's arguing that. You're arguing ghosts. Nobody's arguing
No,
that.
are you argue against it?
No, I'm not.
You
I'm
are
not.
because you're arguing against
No,
science.
I'm not arguing against that. Man has indeed gotten smarter, if you want to call it that. We
That's
certainly
what
are
it
able
is.
to do more things. We invented the car. We invented the plane. Yes,
Yes.
all that. We can travel. All that. Nobody's arguing that. Nobody's arguing that.
So what
That's
you
not
arguing?
different. Anyway, make we just, for argument's sake, stop arguing about it.
You
I
argue.
I'm
whatever.
enjoying this. No man,
You
I like it like this.
don't believe what I want. I want to believe.
Yeah, man. Make the show spicy. Make
Make
it
we talk about
spicy.
some make we talk about some local things
If
because
you
the
just try we not agree with G Mike, that's why they change the subject, you know.
no, I don't want to agree with me. I like that one not agree with me, but
When they
you
walk
never get
on right now, when
you
they walk
never
on
get
right.
me. No, you never get me for agree with you neither. So that's it. I mean,
Allow
why
me
is that?
to end.
Why am I the bad guy? Because I don't agree with you or you that, but you could not
Allow me
agree
Yeah,
with
to
you're
me.
wrong. You're
You
allow
wrong.
me
oh,
to
you want to tell me you're wrong? You cannot prove that.
allow
Right
me to
now,
end on
the
this one,
thesis of
Mr.
evolution makes the most sense than your sense.
I man, that your sense. That your sense. You say
Yeah.
that when you want.
I
I
say
see
what
it
I want.
Let
differently.
me end on this one then. Jamaica
Yes.
has about 3 million people, right?
Yes,
Yes.
that's right.
The world has over 7 billion. Why you believe that the Jamaicans have excelled when it comes to speed in the world? Have you ever tried to figure out why 3 million people have over
Great athletes.
Ah,
Track.
because of the genetics which they evolve. And that is science right there.
So they are more involved than everybody else.
Their lungs have.
You need to know more about science and the
Their
Their
genetics.
lungs.
muscle.
Their lungs have.
Yeah,
Me,
they
you know,
got more.
man,
They got more muscle compared to a white
yeah.
man. They got more muscle per
Well, look
body
here.
weight than me.
Well, when they use a flawed premises, and then if we have flawed premise, we'll give you a flawed conclusion.
No, when it happens so often, like in Jamaica case or in Kenya and those places where they have those long distance runners,
Yeah.
it is genetically proven and scientifically tested, and those are the conclusions because
Listen to me.
it's not
Listen.
random.
Here's what I believe: that if you took our children from small and carrying through school in rigorous training programs, they would be as good as any Jamaican or any other person anywhere else in the world. Man can do what man can do. That is my opinion. I don't have to agree with that. I don't have to agree. No, 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 have to agree with me, and that's done. We're good. We're moving on. Marijuana. They tried to legalize it in
So
Kikaka,
we
and they
could light
said,
up now. We could light up now. All
"Well,
right.
you
Thank
could
you.
light up if you want."
Ah.
So, was it a right decision or a wrong decision to defeat that move?
Let me tell you where I stand on it, and then we'll see. I believe that all drugs, whatever drugs you want, should be legalized. That's my premise on it. Um, I was for the approval of it, but I had concern about it because I cannot understand how you could have something that's illegal throughout the rest of the country to be legal in just one area of the country. So I was very concerned about that type of precedence. And it concerned me in even when I think of the communal land claim and giving people the right to have referendum that could go against the national agenda and the Constitution of Belize. So that's where I stand with it. I support it, and I wish they would legalize marijuana and any drugs they want, and people choose to use it as they choose.
Would it be going against the Constitution?
No, well, not if they legalize, not if they remove the illegal. Well, not even in the Constitution, because that's not in the Constitution. If
Right.
the courts and the laws of Belize allows it, that's what I'm talking about.
But
Then I don't have a
substantive
problem.
laws, substantive laws. Yeah.
Yes.
Um. Well, yeah. I think I'm a trial balloon, and I want to see how far they go with it.
Maybe it was a pilot issue. Maybe.
Yeah, something
And,
like that.
and it went down. It went down in smoke.
Yeah, because they didn't present a very good case. I think it didn't look very professional how the side for yes they didn't do a good job at it, and the church did a very good job of demonizing marijuana and of course bringing in the religious factor, because I'm sure Kikaka, this is not racial, but Spanish people are very religious, and the majority of the people out in Kikaka are of Spanish descent and very Catholic and so on, and he won them over, you know.
So the church has really that kind of influence, no?
Has a lot of power. Oh, yes, it does. They were against
Always,
us when we
always.
tried to decriminalize it. They were dead against us about
I
it.
think they're a fair God then. They want to go to heaven and they want to go to hell, basically, right? But you don't know when you smoke weed, you go straight to heaven. But they don't know. All right.
Cloud nine, you get to cloud nine. I don't know how further you go after that.
That's a heaven. You see, well, I get that too, but when I tell me I don't know. All right.
Yeah.
Maybe you know, but I've never tried it. I've never smoked. I smoked, but I never inhaled.
Let me give you my opinion. I have heard two of you. I'm not like you want to remain indifferent. I believe that we should decriminalize marijuana in this country. And I think we should decriminalize it in accordance with International Convention on Human Rights. I believe the government made the mistake from the beginning when the now Minister of Police and New Growth Industry went out, and I did have a meeting with him, advising against do not go out and to try to promote it as a new growth industry and how to bring industries and money to the country.
Right.
Do not do that. Go out and advocate to decriminalize it in accordance with the International Convention that we subscribe to. Human rights.
Yeah.
So when I listen to the campaign, the gentleman that initiated it from the council, I thought he was sincere. He went out to use it as a revenue generating mechanism. That was bad.
He wanted $400,000. He said.
Yeah, he shouldn't have done that. And then when you listen to Pastor Wade, he contrasted it and he said, listen, you either want a family-based tourism or you want marijuana-based tourism.
I want family-based.
Then the church came in, and of course, the church took up and used that. If they had argued it differently, I think they could have been able to better offset some of those people.
Yeah.
Why?
Also, Joe, if you
please,
read a lot of the
it
comments, a lot of people out there, if you read a lot of the comments about it, A lot of people feel that this time a poor man gains a rich man industry, and they felt that they would have been left out of it, and that
Exactly.
this is only for rich people. And that was I saw a lot of that in the comments.
That's right. And
but
that's the point I was making. Because they were promoting it, I am though boy, that 4%, they don't the control the percent at this way. That they want monopolize it.
Well,
Yeah.
but you know, I was going to say Belize people are really generally very conservative people, you know. They don't go for nonsense, and they're not easily flashed by wanting to do wrong. We have a strong religious core within our Belize-ness of our people.
I think we also gun shy because I remember Petro Carib that was supposed to do so much for the country and didn't. So that's why when I hear them promises there, I realize even though them money they make, we didn't say much of it. But Joe, why did you say that I was indifferent? Because you say I am indifferent to it. I wasn't. I believe that marijuana should be legalized.
Okay.
Oh, I
I
didn't get that. I thought you were saying that you believe they should decriminalize it.
yes.
All right. No,
But
what
it
is
is
your
decriminalized already.
hold on. The question is, Chairman, what is your reason why you think we should decriminalize it?
Because I do not think that it does the kind of harm that they say it does. I do not believe that if take for instance you should lock up somebody in jail because they have some weed. I think they should make it an industry. I believe it should be. We have all the and it's especially in the U.S. It's now it's being sold. So if we can produce enough to export, it could do some good for the economy. Given
Well,
though that,
Well,
that yes,
I
I
don't know if you could
understand.
export it. I don't know. You could even within states and the United States, you can't bring it across different borders. What you grow in California, I think use in California and whatever state. I don't think you could, because federally it is not approved substance. It's
Well, how
just
about
within
within the
state.
Caribbean? We have enough of a market within the Caribbean, within
You know,
Guatemala and Mexico.
Belize weed is a very poor quality weed. You
Are
know,
you
Yeah,
kidding me?
it is.
it
Not
is.
now it is,
It
but
is. It is
now it
compared
is.
to.
We had one of the best grades of weed in the world. I remember in New
Mm,
York, in the
Chairman, you know what is you know what smoke not expect with these weed, yeah.
no. You don't. I
When
don't
you
smoke
got a
none
New
but
York,
for it. I don't
when you
smoke
smoke
none
with
but
these weed
for it now.
because you don't always don't care with these weed that New York or sell it
uh,
when the street vibes there,
yeah.
when the
No,
body
but
street vibe. But it
Bullet.
big than New York with marijuana. Anyway,
But yeah,
we
yeah.
can come back.
I'm saying that in the 70s and early 80s, Belize had the best weed. It was known as Belize Gold. People used to crave
I've
it.
heard of it. I guess it was a good local product, and
Well, it
I'm
was
saying
good
there
for
might.
then. The weed they're growing now, I believe, is enhanced. And that's
Yes,
why the
yes.
foreign weed, you can't find seed in the weed within the cell now. You
All
can't
right.
reap. Which when the time about be able to grow on thing, weed I don't know that was gonna grow weed like that. Weed not even easy for grow. They don't understand that.
No,
And
but remember, Mr. Chairman, we were exporting weed, marijuana. We were big in the exportation.
all right.
You're aware of that, right?
So then so you could
But
tell
it was
Greg that
illegal.
yeah,
No, it was illegal. What happened? The big area for marijuana growth, and it's a fact that Belize had a good quality, and it was very much in demand in the US.
okay.
We used to export it illegally and used to go through most of it from Arinjoa. And that was how they started those fields. That's a fact.
Yeah,
They were
yeah, yeah.
exporting it. They were
Yeah,
exporting it.
they went over to
That's why the
Kane.
paraquat planes
When they
came to
called,
Belize.
remember when Arinjoa was named Rumba
Correct.
when it was floating, the whole area where they call Honeycomb, that big lake.
Yeah.
I bought a piece of land to build out there because the place was getting popular. Big money was spending. In fact, there was instances where a particular senior police officer, a picture was taken of him where they were loading the plane. Oh, what happened? The government changed. Col Thompson was the deputy prime minister, and Esquivel was the prime minister.
Mm-hmm.
And I must say, they stupidly gone and make the Americans encourage them to
Sprayed
go
it.
and spray the fields.
Yeah.
They spray the fields. And we lost the marijuana. No, you know
And
where
it
it came?
destroyed our other crops too.
Destroyed the marijuana crop. With good things over the export. And where came? Cocaine, which is worse for us. When it comes to the killing, when it comes to what is happening,
Yeah.
that is worse than when we had the marijuana.
Well, the bad part of the paraquat that also killed all the bees,
That's right.
Yeah.
and that
Killing the
messed
bee,
up the
it was
citrus
damaging
industry.
some
And
of our
it causes cancer.
That's right.
And it
They
So,
should never
destroys
have.
it
Anyhow,
so
destroys our streams and
I believe
rivers.
we actually should decriminalize it. And I am not going to argue that it cannot be damaging. It can, just like
Anything else?
alcohol.
Abuse. Anything else.
That's right.
everything,
Once you
everything can
abuse
be
it, it
damaging.
can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eh,
But I
I,
was just
I think at the end of the day, we have to rely on discretion. If something like that should happen, where you're not just going to blow smoke in at somebody's face because you could do it. And
Yeah.
there's some people who don't like it, and you
Yeah.
have to respect them for that.
That's
So I
right.
think that
Yeah.
at the end of the day, if we could be responsible human beings, then we should be able to make decisions on our own based on things like that. No?
the only way we could do that if we decriminalize it and regulate it.
Well,
Mhm.
if we do, we'd have to regulate it.
Regulate. Right now, we can't. So we regulation now is simple to ban it, except for the 10 grams, which make no sense.
Because
And
it basically just decriminalized to that point.
one of the
It's
things
not
which I think,
legalized.
and I wanted to come back to something where Mr. Morrison said that he didn't like the idea of having a referendum in Kikaka only. Now, what happened? They have to amend the Referendum Act. We should never, they should have amended it before and they didn't. Two things they need to amend, which I said they will definitely do now. One, the referendum allow you to have a localized referendum, which you shouldn't have done. A localized referendum, normally, universally, is only when you have a localized issue.
Right.
But when you have a national issue, your referendum should not be localized. You have to be national.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it gone strictly localized, and that's why that happened. You know how much money they spent on that? You know how much money they spent?
And yeah, they spent a couple $100,000.
They budgeted over $200,000 to do what
The government did.
Yeah.
The government, but then the minister wasn't thoroughly honest then, because he said it was a private venture and the government did not spend any money on it.
No, they have to. You can't have a referendum because the referendum have to be by law. And under the law, that only Election and Boundaries Commission can oversee a referendum. So who have to spend on the government?
All right. So now moving right along. Find a lady in a barrel.
Yeah.
Find a man, they drag the barrel, but they identify him, Adolphus, Easy Glen. Many people remember Easy Glen. We're kind of crazy. And Spooner, you think that he didn't do it, or they paid him to move the body? You know Easy Glen.
I know Easy Glen. Yeah, when I used to go with Reid, they used to be out there and so on.
On a tight belly.
Never tight, but I know who he was. Yes,
All right.
exactly. But like most call him a clown, in a clown. But he was a mouthpiece for them, for the UDP. But that looked like a job. I don't know. That looked like that. No, I don't know if that could be a one-man job. It was a big lady, I think, and then to do what he did, and then put that body. I guess once you cut it up, it's easy to put inside the bin. But
But to be able to just do that what kind of callous?
well, yeah. How sick
is
it's
he
absolutely
Israeli?
sick.
Is he
What
an
was,
Israeli?
what was the reasoning behind it? Why did you do that? And he came out of Boots. Was that where he came out of? The Boots building there on the
Yeah,
roundabout?
that's what
the
they
yellow
said.
building?
Yeah. So
So he wheeled it from all the way from there to Partridge, where Amandala.
what's
Street
that far
there,
away? That same block, one block.
Not that far. Okay,
Not that far away. Yeah.
but
But I think that one horrendous act. It shows that some of us have gone that evolution way to talk about. I don't know about that. That they got the wrong way. But nevertheless,
I've been watching. Coincidentally, I've been watching on Netflix. There is a 8-episode series of this terrible murderer in Wisconsin, America, called Ed Gein. He's the guy that gave Psycho from from him, Psycho was made, Silence of the Lambs, Ted Bundy, and so on. And he
They
used to do that. He used to do,
inspired those movies, no?
yeah,
Uh,
he cut up people like that. He made lampshades out of their skin. He wore a body. He wore a body a female body suit made out of women's skin and breasts and so on. Very sick, very sick. But there you go. So that brought back when I just by
was
coincidence.
he black or white?
He was a white guy. Most serial killers are white.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know why.
You have to admit. Oh, we evolution. We know why.
Yeah, you better watch me when I come
No,
visit you one of
Yeah,
these
yes,
days.
but
Man.
don't you think I do? You don't
Yes.
think I do?
You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry, G Mike. I don't want to eat you. You that don't bone. You don't go skin and bone.
Boy, I nice bad ram to you. I, you,
It was a tough no rams. It was a tough.
I had a full pot. I had a full pot. No worry about it. But anyway, make take bad thing make joke. The one I have
What
to.
do you think, G Mike? You didn't answer the question. Yeah, I gave. Well, what do you think? It was a solo job? It was him want to do it, or what do you think?
I think he was hired to move the body. I don't think that he do it, but I think
think he
he's
did.
in a predicament where he can't. It damn if he do it, damn if he don't. He can't talk. And maybe he figure out, "Okay, if he talking, he dead. Maybe he could just live with it and go to jail, which probably are dead anyway. That one terrible situation to be in. And make we go on with this
I think
next one.
the concern of who, whether it was he alone, is a legitimate concern. But
Yes.
there's another concern I have. What is the motive? Did anybody suggest the motive?
Yeah.
What was the motive?
Did he seem to? Did he have some relationship with that individual that's known?
That's not known at all. There's no.
The people are Faber. I know the Fabers. I know he's a Glen pretty good in the sense that when he first came out of jail, and he came to see me and he spoke with me and he told me that he wanted to make changes and he told me about his life in there. I think his father was a policeman and I may feel convinced that he needed opportunity and I got him involved. And then there was a house on Kelly Street because that's where they were before he. And the house may belong to a Chinaman, but they were not using it. So I went to see the Chinaman and he said he want to make the place available, just get $1 and we sign an agreement because we don't want spoilers, right? And he was supposed to be in charge of the other boys to help them. Why I begin to have problems, Trying to me to take the people their money. Then we find that he had one temperament and they had to hold on down one time and deal with them. So he left us PUP and he was very talented. I could tell you this. He could compose songs and he could sing good. He was very talented in that now. And he speak quite intelligently. And then of course he left the PUP and he gone over with UDP. Then he gone to jail again. And then he came out. And I met him when he came out again. But then the time he was doing some work for the UDP by Fidel Building. And then when I heard that I was really at a loss to try to figure out what are the motive. Why would he want to do this?
Yeah. Why?
It's not a Belizean thing, is it? This is not something that we do in Belize, but
Boy, there are a lot of things now that I see happening that
The one
at
with the
this
head
point.
and the bucket.
oh yes.
Yeah.
But that was a foreigner. That's a guy Mason. Yeah.
Yeah. But there were Belizeans involved too. And we've seen some horrendous acts. The one with the guys that kill the people in
We've evolved, G Mike. We've evolved to those kind of things now.
There we go. There we go. No prove my point, right? But now, the next big story, and I believe if we may listen carefully, we may hear a huge sigh of relief with this Big Tom murder that happened. And I'll tell you why. Not because Big Tom was killed, but because had that been a gang affiliated situation, this city would have erupted. I understand that people were already gearing up, loading up their guns to go roll down upon an area that he was killed in. It's known as Bakatong area, no? That that if that had been anything other than, and we have to big up the police for quickly getting to the bottom of that and coming up with a. I imagine it was too obvious what happened. This guy, I don't know if him to try hide it, but they catch on, and they catch on with the gun and whatnot, no. But there was a situation where we dodged a bullet on that one, with the many number of gang murders and whatnot. This thing would have spiraled way out of control. When I want to think about it, I can tell you from the word on the street. I mean, even before they and when it just announced the killing, before we knew that they had arrested a suspect, there was a lot going on. I was in the jungle. You know where the jungle is, over there in Love the Lane, doing some work on a basketball backboard for the kids. And one of the kids came up and broke the news. He said, "Boy," and I must say, all on the stay off of the street because they know what was gonna happen. Had this been at that point, everybody thought it was a gang thing, and the other gang members had killed him. Again, it was the best case scenario as far as that. Not for that gentleman because, my God. And then they gonna broke the news that I'm Michael Perry feet. Boy, well they say, I'm saying this is crazy. That but see that family is not known for that kind of behavior, and that's what shocked me because you're finding drunk, you might drop off on boat on drunk or something, but as far as the killing and then kind of violent crimes, then when I heard that name, you don't associate such names with that kind of activity. Um, and I feel bad for him. He has requested police guard and be put in an area where he's safe, no? But I don't know where he gonna be safe, boy.
Yeah.
But you saw what triggered it now.
That one,
They have it.
that
They have it in the papers now because, of course, they couldn't do anything until the person was charged, and when they charged up a murder,
yeah, that one domestic dispute. That I saw, and they were showing, it's on Facebook all over the place anyway, that the girl was actually posting videos with her and this guy, obviously taunting that guy who had been posting a lot of stuff on his page about how passionately in love he was with her and how they
Yeah.
would be forever. They would this that it for me. That's all. This is my everything. And then for something like that, you know, I don't know that you could anything can justify taking somebody's life, but a crime of passion. I does he have a case to answer? Um,
Does he have a lawyer? Has he got a lawyer yet? Has the lawyer been mentioned?
no, the kid, I know the kid. No
Who?
problem.
I don't have any lawyer. It's just that he had been charged for murder.
Yeah. Okay.
He-
Arrange
he-
lawyer.
he's-
According to the article, what they wrote on it after he was charged, because they didn't come right now about it.
But how do you
He
defend?
didn't plead guilty or not? Did he plead not guilty or?
But he waited there with a gun in his hand for the police to come. What happened, I understand that they were at home together, he and the fiancé, the girl, and they had some misunderstanding.
And the girl called Big
He
Tom.
called for Big Tom.
So, because I'm watching Facebook, so there seems to be two stories. There's one that she left him and started going out with Big Tom, but then there is another one where they're saying that this was his girlfriend still, but she was also seeing Big Tom. So, do you know what the truth is? What is the scenario there? Because it looked
What
like
I,
he drove. Sorry, go ahead.
what I read and what I was told by from the member, that member, um, that they were still having the affair. Because at first they thought that they had separated. What happened, the brother in particular and the sister was telling him to leave her because they saw what she was doing. But it looked like he had an obsession. No?
Okay.
And,
But why
it
would
was
she call him? Why would she call him? Wouldn't that sort of aggravate the
it did.
situation more?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
I would want to
Well,
see
People
too
don't
much.
people don't act rationally in those type of
Yeah.
situations.
not
Yeah,
only that, maybe if she had felt threatened, no, and the person you call him a bad man, because once a bad man show up, a figure will he back down.
Yeah.
Obviously, he got a firearm. So does he have a defense now? Then maybe that he was afraid for his life, and that's why he had to do that. Either way, he's
right.
up shit creek. I tell you
I
that.
don't want.
I,
I
I'm
don't
The
I'm
want.
lawyer will come up
just
with some kind of defense. You
I
just
don't
have
want
to
to
get
say. I don't
just
want
have
to
to
say
get Dickie
lawyer,
Bradley. Just get Dickie Bradley. He do fine with
but
Dickie.
there's a thing called impulse in anger,
yeah.
Yeah.
and
Passion, crime of
if the
passion.
circumstances was what I read and what I'm heard, it could have been impulse in anger. For example, when the person call and the other person respond, and then to go out there and say them going, I felt at that moment he couldn't take it anymore. Which I mean, we here have some rationality still, but I don't think we have been provoked yet to that extent. So we could say,
Yeah.
why I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But once a man reaches stage of that kind of anger,
Yeah.
by and that obsession he had, you see, it must have been preceded by an obsession.
Hmm.
They
That's not
evolve.
love. That's not love. That's an
He
obsession.
evolved farther than you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an obsession.
And then you have the means too. You have a weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Anyhow,
Well, but when you look at Facebook, Big Tom is getting a lot of support from the community. They had two vigils, I think, for him. I think his sister, I didn't realize that Britney Starr was his sister, a celebrity in Belize, So it looks like he was very well respected in the neighborhood, you
He,
know.
he apparently
right,
had also started a song studio
That's right,
where
yeah. But
guys
right.
were because he was into. In fact, he was on this show
That's right.
about a month or so ago, right after the Lukey shooting,
I
and
was
if
impressed with him.
Oh, I did see that. I did see that.
Very,
yeah,
Okay.
very.
I
Okay.
I
Okay.
didn't know who he was, and I know him. But I when the producer told us we have Rad Mark on, I'm saying, well, I don't with this boat we talk about something, and I was stumbling through it till I realized, oh wait a minute, that they're Big Tom, and then he laugh and say, yeah, because he was basically almost incognito, no. He had a hood on, I believe, for the start. So, but I found him and Joy. I hear you think he was interested in one way, but I saw out him also speaking out the two sides of his mouth because he was kind of hurling some threats in veiled threats, and I'm saying, well, I hope he really want to go right and gonna stay right, but the way he was talking, like, well, that's still Big Tom, no, so they can't forget that. But that was a very unfortunate thing. And again, like I said, it was just a lucky stroke that it was not. They found who did it. Then they knew that this guy. It seems no doubt.
It didn't result in gang retaliation, thinking that that was the cause, right?
Correct. Well, that's where it almost went. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's why I thought that
he almost
and
went to.
I thought that the police should have done an even better job of jumping out there and make everybody know, you know what, this is a domestic dispute. This is not a gang affiliation kind of thing. Um, just something like that. You have to, because that tension was there. Trust me, you could feel it in the air in the areas where I was. And something like that, you have to quickly diffuse. You
well,
know,
Britney Starr, she did quite a few posts, and one of them was in defense of this young lady that her brother was having an affair with, or were going out with, or affair. I don't know which one it is. That will be cleared up down the road. But the girl was getting a lot of negative press about her person, her character, and who she was, and she was asking everybody to give respect and not to be attacking her and so on like that, because she brought a lot of happiness. She saw a change in her brother, that this young lady brought a lot of happiness to him. So she was in full support of the young lady.
But how long were they going together? God,
I have
that
no idea. All
I
I was shocked because Sidney Perfit is a friend on my Facebook page. I know who he is. We're not bombarding in the sense that we go party and drink and hang out, but I know,
not like you and Easy Glenn. Yeah, right.
I know who his parents are and so on, and I know his family and things like that. But I known him to be a very respectable young man. Every time he saw me, good morning, Mr. Spooner, how you doing, and so on. And so it was a shock to me, and a lot of people who know him. This was a shock, but he was obsessed with this young lady because he just posted, like you said, numerous posts about how much he loved this young lady, how much this young lady was part of his life, and so on. And I guess his life just got shattered when she left him, or he found out she was seeing somebody else, you know. And he knew who she was seeing, and that still didn't scare him, you know.
Do you think he really knew who he was, who Big Tom was, and the reputation that Big Tom has?
I think everybody knows who Big Tom is.
Because and the girl posted and I saw it. It's on Facebook also, a video with she and Big Tom in bed,
Yeah,
and she was kissing all over him and whatnot.
yeah.
If anything might have touched him off, that would have been it, no?
Yeah, well,
Because
especially if this girl is the girl of your dreams and you've been having a relationship with her for several times, but
build your whole life.
yeah,
But he was married before.
yes, and he
I
left
was
his wife for this girl apparently. Yeah,
and I was talking to my son, and he said he knew the wife, and that she was a very nice, dignified lady, wonderful lady. And he said he was surprised when they broke up, no, because he
yeah,
apparently was familiar with the guy, and that then he went to this girl, but fell madly in love. She must have something that pulling guys like that and keep them enthralled.
yeah. Facebook gives all kind of reason why she drawing like that, and I won't mention them at all.
Well, go ahead, man.
No, man, I don't know
We,
what.
we, we have evolved past that point. I
Are we X-rated? Are we could say
yeah.
X-rated
Well,
thing?
I think in the
It's a
least they
very
call it
sensitive
Perita.
issue, so I don't want to make
What's that, Greg?
I said in the least I
That's
think
the
they
proof
call
right
it
there that
Peritas.
human.
I don't
That's
know
a
what
proof.
that is.
That's
Oh,
the proof right there that human is evolving.
is that kind of thing for doing the spooner?
what's that? No,
Peritos.
I couldn't. Oh,
Gre-
maybe
Boy,
they said they wash it with vinegar and something like you to make you do that. I don't know. Yeah, I'm
boy,
learning
boy.
things now.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, it's
yeah.
a very sad
It
situation
is, it
because
is. And
his life is ruined.
yeah.
I
You know, his
understand
life
it.
is
It's
ruined.
just really tough the level of domestic violence we're having, because this is not the first one in I mean, this is a new month, but last month or so we had the other one case where I saw the niece, or the lady handed her niece a gun and someone was
Oh yes,
executed
yeah,
there.
yeah,
So
Oh yeah.
it is really becoming very an epidemic, the level of um,
Gun
domestic
violence.
violence that's
yeah.
going on.
I have been
Yeah.
hurt. I've been hurt in my life in relationships, and but I would never, ever, ever kill myself or shoot somebody over that, because you always know down the road you will get over it. You know, and
Yeah,
he'll be
yeah,
sitting in that cell if he gets,
yeah,
sentenced. He'll be sitting there, and one day he's gonna say, "What the hell did I do?
yeah, yeah.
Why
But
did I do
the
this?"
sad thing is that affect only you. It affect all your family,
Yeah,
everybody.
both families, both
Mhm,
families. Yeah.
mhm,
Yeah, and when there are children involved, makes it
yeah,
worse.
yeah,
And
Because
especially who you're dealing with, this gentleman, I would be scared too. I'd be scared about. I'd be looking over my shoulder now.
he's gonna have to do that for the rest of his life,
yeah,
You know
wherever
that.
that life is, even
Yeah,
in a jail. He's
yeah,
gonna have to be very, very careful. and our sad state of affairs. Every time they bring him down to go to court, you have to be careful because we've seen situations where men have been murdered on the way to court and back from court. No.
Yes, a lot of his friends are they say, Sydney, Sydney, why did you do this, Sydney? This is not you, man. Why you did this?
Yeah.
You know the lady reputation. Why you do this? You know, but he must have been infatuated. He couldn't let it go. You know.
Yeah, and he
The word right
apparently
there, infatuated.
Sorry, that Joe.
That's the word right there. Infatuated.
Yeah.
he well, I don't know that's more of an infatuation, not a deep love, boy. He apparently had a good life. He was a tour guide. He was well off. His family is in fact is not badly off at all, right? Joe, his relatives are in politics. No, you got his sister not a politician or something.
I don't think so. Actually, he came from I don't know. You remember him, Perifit Mando? And,
How did this Stephanie Perfit? Wasn't there a Stephanie Perfit that was a city manager or something? Big up in city council?
no, he's from Robbie and Mando and
Leela
Leela.
Perfit.
Leela, Leela, the daughter of Robbie.
Yeah.
Now, Mando, actually, this Sydney is the grandson because Mando had two children. One of them died, and then the other one was named Sydney, and then he had this boy, but his son Sydney.
Yeah.
But it happened that it's one of them a Perifit, the man and the woman. So how that came another Perifit. Another family came.
Yeah.
They were cousins, weren't they? I think they were cousins, yeah.
Yeah, they had but it was true that they was Mando was having an affair with the cousin.
Well, in the royal family, it's allowed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even in some evolved cultures. Yeah, we just
Human evolved, boy.
Yeah, that's your word of the week, G. Michael. I'm touching right on your forehead. Evolve.
but Joe, have we gotten smarter or have we gotten dumber? That's the question.
We've gotten more informed.
I believe that
No, we
have.
got to smarter.
I think we have more knowledge, but I think we have less sense of values when it comes to humanity. But I think we have come a far way, and that same AI thing.
But see, and when you say we though, that's the problem because individually, when you look at human beings individually, there's such a varied kind of development, if you will. Because some think a certain way, some think other ways, and the way some people think makes you. Have you ever met somebody and said, "Damn, what makes you think? Why would you think that way?" Even to some very some basic things. They way out and they way out and left field or on the other side of it. And
Well, I hold to the belief, as I grew up, given my age, and I keep saying it, that the primary school graduates had a better sense of value when it comes to the collective prosperity of the people generally. We were more of our brothers and sisters, keep up. Put it simply, we were. So yes, we were deprived financially, asset-wise. We were not having much. We got a school barefooted sometimes. But we had a lot of respect for our elders. We had a great respect for police.
Totally agree.
The community was raising us. I couldn't go home, go complain to my mother about what I was scolded at the shop by Mr. So and so, because my mother wanted to know, because he knew Mr. So and so, and we look after each other.
Why did the pendulum swing so far?
Now, we ask why the pendulum swing. Somehow I feel like and I don't want to be sounding like I'm bringing up the British. And I was saying that to somebody just 2 days ago about the director of public prosecution under the British when we had self-government, which the British were responsible still for foreign affairs, etc. But somehow I believe that one thing they left with us was discipline. So with schools, you dare not these should wardens used to go home to look for children who are not in school.
Mhm.
We had to go to church. We had to go to Sunday school before we go to Martini. So those values just begin to
But that,
come out
but
there.
I don't know. You bring up the British, but that sounds to me more like a family thing. That families lost that sense of value. Families did not nowadays, and I see one thing. I mean, make a laugh on Facebook about the difference with how all the folks treated their children, and nowadays we picking the ball out and their parents. They tell their parents that no way I'm gonna do that, and throwing a tantrum on the ground or whatnot. Back then, I mean, I don't think then I'm gonna kill you, but you that think then I'm gonna kill you. You know, you
Well, let me give you another example. When I said the British, when it comes to the discipline with the schools, but if you look at the period 1964 to 1981, the British was responsible for the public service, and its public service was highly still efficient and effective. And I was citing to some just recently that the DPP, it was Ratnisa, the DPP initiated investigation and take action.
Yes.
It did. There was an issue at the hospital. Then the time Lindy Rogers was the Minister of Health, and the DPP was answerable to the governor. It was responsible to the governor, not to the minister, because the governor was still in charge of the public service. And he never had to go to Lindy. I felt he should have extended some courtesy and tell him what he's going to do. He got in and he investigated and he dealt with it. Lindy took objection, but he couldn't do anything. And an example I give you.
Mhm.
Today now, we have independence. The director of public prosecution is not mandated to do the investigation. But when I look at all this back and forth with this coming back to Budna, all of this should never have to have happened. From the beginning, you have a suspicion, like the DPP get into it, like they take it over and go into it and find what happened.
Mhm. Mhm.
And that's the difference.
we were
Then it could have been
just
done, but we can't do it.
we almost got through this whole show without talking about Budna. Here you come with Budna.
Whoa,
Well, I went.
we talk about the British.
I took the kids. I took the kids to Brad Patico. Spooner was supposed to go with me, and I never do. Brad's got one hit by his Grace Place in Barrel Boom, and he into to religion, right? And he did he invited me with the kids in Ghana and he sing for them and whatnot. And then he started. When he stopped, he finished one song and he said, "All right, now, which song should I sing?" And the one I leave one they holla, "Who thief bud now?" I heard it was so. I'm saying, Brad's play like I'm here. He gone into a for you, for me, Jesus, for me, Jesus. I said, I says, you can't sing no one, no? I must be Guatemala. Anyway, I, gentlemen, we're on the time. Guys, any final words? Anybody want to say something when they never say? Anybody want? Um, but we're going to talk some more about evolution after I do some research next week. I have
I,
to find someone.
I just want to mention quickly. I do appreciate the idea that the Caribbean countries are coming together. We kind of
Oh
spoke
yes,
about that.
oh yes.
I mentioned it last time when I had joined you guys. That they are making that effort to come together in some type of union that bringing to reality the ideas of CARICOM.
I hope it works out. And I believe, yeah, because we should get together. I'd like to also see us come together with the Sika thing, the Central
Yes,
American
yes,
countries.
yes,
Also, we
yes.
need to do more for promote peace with Guatemala. We can't fight them physically like that. We wouldn't want to see no wars. You see that bomb was dropped, the Orange Walk? We wouldn't want to see that all over the place. Really. We don't want to see tanks rolling down the streets. We would like to live in peace and get along, man. And we can do more. I think now, like how I was saying the other day, I don't want to see Trump meet with the president of Guatemala as much. I mean, Janet Becerra meet with the president of Guatemala as much as Trump meets with Netanyahu, which has seemed like every minute and two to meet. So I hope we able. Let me say a happy birthday to Angus Vernon, who celebrated a birthday this. You guys know Angus.
But yeah, I know Angus very good, man. How old is that now? About 89?
But I must say more on that.
More than that.
Is really up
I
there
know
in
Angus
age.
very good, man.
Yeah. And for everybody
I
else,
remember him from I was a little kid, and he used to sell the newspaper. He used
He
to
was a
deliver
great
the newspaper.
footballer, man.
Serious?
From
Okay.
Landiva, he used to play on Landiva.
yeah, he was a big football star, man.
Yeah.
So I want to say hi. You know, your granddaughter Elise was went up for a beautiful little girl. Ran for I don't know. He win village council one the last time around, and I was to wonder because Brasta is now running for politics, but I don't know if that what division. I'm not sure if they're the same division where she's in. Interesting, but of course I think she's PUP and he's UDP, so they might have to face off against each other, no?
Well, can I end with a little joke? I understand that Tracy is up for the Nobel Peace Prize. I asked him why. Because he succeeded in getting rid of Saldiva and Shine.
Oh, she
Together.
did it. Yeah.
Yeah, but is Saldiva gone because he not like on bad check, boy. He keeps
The
going.
boys defeated him, Bilal.
Yeah.
I understand, on convention, Bilal.
Oh, you know,
Oh, he did?
for
You
the,
finally ran against him?
That's what I was told. I mean, they had a convention.
you hardly hear
yes,
the news
I was-
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a very sharp young man, Bilal, and I was kind of disappointed. that he
Khalid
was
Bilal,
in
you mean the
trouble.
guy who was mayor of Belmopan?
Yes,
Right.
yes.
But he had a few skeletons that were rattling there for a minute, didn't he?
I don't know, but we all have some skeleton.
Well, UDP don't say nothing but UDP, so we don't worry about that. We get that from Spooner. ACB, more likely for give us the juice and that. Guys, thank you very much. I hope, Greg, I hope you'll join me again next week.
Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.
See why
Remember,
we're done
Monday's
here.
a holiday. Monday's a public holiday, Indigenous
All right.
Day.
Oh, good.
Oh, they have an Indigenous Day now.
Yes, I'm not
It is no
included in
longer
that.
Columbus Day because Columbus was a damn blasted liar.
All right, good night, everybody.
Yeah, man.
One thing,
Good night.
Peace
you
in
could never
Palestine.
disrupt Jaja plan. You ever say?
Now we jingle, boy. We got we jingle.
And you could never underestimate the heart of a champion.
It is.
Do you remember when you treat me like a pig inside a pen? Now we don't blow up like Big Ben. You don't remember back then? No, you don't remember when you holla say me and you no friend. But how you don't have a dime feeling? No, you don't remember back then. Now things get bright up. Me notice you and your friend and they show up. They talk about how you know me from just up. You have no idea how we grew up. Vote early the morning. We just swim up on the way back down coconut. Get hooks up, pipe water left in the sun. Forget warm up, then we get fresh up, green and white done up. Pants and shirt get starch up. Use the lard pan. They get fuel up, ital stew and seaweed up. Low sexy gal, sweet like syrup. System corrupt, half it up. Where we do, just to come up. You know say the man pocket off the fat up. We can't afford for the lamp up. Out of the barrel we dey climb up. For the dollar catch we have then the line up. While you know the sleep dollar just get piled up. Stay on the grind, sun down to sun up. Do you remember when you treat me like a pig inside a pen? Now we don't blow up like Big Ben. You don't remember back then? No, you don't remember when you holla say me and you no friend. But how you don't have a dime feeling? No, you don't remember back then. I am the stone the builder refuse. Like Isaac, I stand accused. The one them girl never choose. Left them and fuse. This done no time for the snooze. We are make you one offer where you can't refuse. We come to make money, we not come to make news. And we in it to the end, win, draw or lose. Like Chucky, say hello to my little friend Bucky. Wet up so bad, and I think say you tipsy. Play with something, say play with me, kinda risky. Some of them boy hard black like coral. The pray for we downward spiral. Can't wait to care, the negative is viral. But we no normal, come out of the jewel, we familiar with the mineral. Eben we gon' meet times.